You got women who go try to argue, man, just come out with it, man, just have a good time, smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? You thinking it's a good thing or whatever. I mean, we just gonna have a good little time. I'm human. Let's go have a good little time. That's it. No, you're not human. You're not a human no more. You feel me? You're a savage. You gotta, the main focus, the main thing in life is, what are you focused on? Never, ever let anything turn you away from that. If somebody, you say, motherfucker, I'm the best fighter ever. That's why you gotta get crazy, man, to even think that way. So why am I talking to a motherfucker? You feel me? So now, no motherfucker, like in the whole time, you know how hard that is? And yes, I do know. And guess what? I'm ready for that. Matter of fact, fuck that. I'm finna be one to set the whole nother standard. You get what I'm saying? At one point, Michael Jordan, he was the greatest of all time. He was doing stuff that we've never seen before, under the basket layups and all that kind of stuff. Now you go outside right now. Hold up. You go outside now, you see a regular dude going under the basket, under the layup. You get what I'm saying? So a whole new standard. So that's what. Oh. But yeah. That's
black song.
That's the mindset you gotta have. Nah, I'm the new standard, man. Fuck everything y'all done did. It's me right now. You get what I'm saying? Exactly. But that's your focus. You get what I'm saying? So like, even like I said, with all the legends, why you gotta do exactly what they do? Why not do more? Why not work hard? Why not lock in even more? Once again, if everything is about focus, even with that, I'm pretty sure they wasn't 100% on. It's something that you could do. They probably had one less day than you of being locked in, and that could be your advantage. Literally just the simplest 1 second of, I'm on more than you. Think about it. Most people get caught, boxing-wise, let's say a little time, it's a one-shot thing, right? There's a whole bunch of shots getting landed, but for some reason, somebody blinked wrong, boom, they got caught with something to go to sleep. So that 1 millisecond or whatever could change everything. So if you focus that 1 millisecond longer, that's what you shine. Focus and discipline is everything. And the more you stay focused, the more you stay disciplined, life got you. God got you. Just follow through.
Surely, man. The champ, man.
For the untouchable, true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents Something the Boxing Game's Missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. So we're getting closer and closer to Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney, the most anticipated fight remaining on the boxing schedule for 2025. And it's really one of those fights. It's one of those special fights. It's one of those special buildups that has the boxing community split. A lot of people think Devin Haney's going to win. A lot of people think Brian Norman's going to win. When you get these matchups in boxing, that's when it really is fun. That's when it's really fun to make these videos. That's when it's really fun to go live and interact with you guys and talk. Now, look, I've been very vocal about who I think is winning this fight, and I want to get even more vocal. I'm going to get louder and louder as the fight gets close because this is one of those fights that I'm really excited about. I got Brian Norman Jr. winning this fight emphatically. In fact, I might even start a new hashtag. You know, Norman in 7 or less, because that's how I think this fight's going. I think Norman's going to beat the brakes off Devin Haney in 7 rounds or less. But if it goes the distance, I think there's pathways for him to win a decision against Devin Haney, honestly. But I'm going to go with him in 7 rounds or less to stop Devin Haney. Now, look, a lot of people are dissecting the skills, right? You know, footwork, power, defense, and I've done that as well. I did a video a couple months ago breaking down this fight, 20 minutes long, breaking down this fight from both sides, and I give you guys my opinions why. I'll leave for you guys right here or right here to go watch for yourself. But what I wanted to speak about is what I truly believe is the biggest difference in this fight, because, you know, they're both world-class fighters. They both have really good jabs. Brian Norman has world-class power. Devin Haney has world-class experience. They both have things, you know, that you can point to, tangible things that you can point to and say, this is why, you know, Brian Norman will win, or why Devin Haney will win. And you're not crazy if you pick them for those reasons. But what I believe will be the biggest difference in this fight is right up here, mindset. And you guys saw Brian Norman Jr. in the beginning of this clip. He was speaking to one of the sparring partners, one of the guys in his camp. And he said, look, man, like I feel like you really got a glimpse in that clip in the beginning of this video of his mindset. You know, just the discipline and the focus that he has for the sport. You got to be radical in this game. You got to have discipline on another level. You can't be out here drinking, smoking, fucking around with these bad bitches out here on Instagram, because you will get caught up. And, I'm not trying to put nobody's business out there, but we know Devin Haney has had some of those issues in the past. I feel like Brian Norman Jr. has an edge over not just Devin Haney, but a lot of fighters, the majority of boxing, because of his mindset. I had a chance to meet Brian Norman Jr. for the first time when I was out in Japan for the Jintozaki fight. And, I've met a lot of fighters over the years, countless fighters. I met Devin, I met Bill, I met, you name the fighters in boxing, I met them, or I've interviewed them at some point in time. And I know when I'm in the presence of somebody who has a special mindset. And Brian Norman Jr., I think, has a special mindset. He might be 24, but he has the mindset of somebody who's 54. He's mature beyond his years, and that's why he's gotten to where he's gotten to. That's why at one point he was the youngest world champion in boxing. And you understand, like, Brian Norman Jr. wasn't a fighter that, got out to the greatest of starts once he got under the lights. And for a lot of fighters, that would make them crumble. Like, you look at the Jenelson Figueroa fights and some of those early fights on Top Rank, a lot of people didn't know if he was going to make it. A lot of people, myself included, thought that if he lost to Santillan, he was going to go ahead and get that pink slip and get cut. But he showed you under them lights, after, lackluster performances, that he could adjust, and he's been on a war path ever since the Santillan fight. So to me, what that's shown me is that he's very, very strong up here. Incredibly strong up here. Stronger than most people want to give him credit for. They downplay his wins, and they say, oh, well, these guys aren't great. But you guys saw where he's coming from. He said, look, we've seen what all the great fighters done in the past. Why can't I do more? He's telling the sparring partner that. He said that, he set his standards so high that he wants to be the greatest fighter and set a new standard. You understand? And he broke it all the way down to, look, boxing is all about milliseconds, and those milliseconds where you're not locked in camp can make all the difference on fight night. And so, and he's one of those guys that I know, he's not just talking for the camera or to sound good and because he loves the sound of his own voice. I know he practices that. I'm going to tell you guys how I know. When I was in Japan for the Brian Norman Sasaki fight, after the fight, I wound up meeting up with Norman to interview him, right? And I'm not going to say the name, but one of the guys that's very close to his camp, he had asked me, he said, hey, Brendan, are you going to go out to the club? And I said, nah, I'm not going out to the club. That ain't really my thing. That's not my style. And he had told me, well, yeah, me and such and other guys are going to go to the club or whatever, whatever. But he told me, he said, B, and when he said B, he meant Brian. Brian Norman Jr. doesn't go out, right? And mind you, this is Brian Norman Jr. He had a long training camp. He's in a new country. He's in Japan. He got the knockout of the year. He would be well within his rights after a big knockout to go out to the club and enjoy all the spoils and all the things that the beautiful country of Japan has to offer. But he didn't do that, and he doesn't do that. And he lives to train. So I think where he has the edge, not just over Devin Haney, but most fighters, is in the mentality department. He really has a mentality of an old school fighter. So that's why I'm saying I know exactly what Devin Haney is up against in this fight. I know it better than most. And that's why I'm telling you guys, is Brian Norman Jr. as accomplished at this stage of his career as a guy like Vasily Lomachenko? No, he's not. Lomachenko's Hall of Famer. But Lomachenko was a smaller fighter. Lomachenko was a guy that, already was thinking about retirement in and around that time. So it's not the same as fighting a young 24-year-old upstart, full-fledged welterweight, younger than you, bigger than you, pissed off for greatness. It's a different type of a fight. And this is the first time I've ever been excited for a Devin Haney fight because I know what he's up against. And what he's up against is one of the most focused, one of the most dangerous, most disciplined fighters in the entire sport of boxing, and that is Brian Norman Jr. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I've been very adamant. If Devin Haney goes in there, and let's just say he does outbox him, outclass him, or if he does knock him out and does the unthinkable, I think this is the kind of one that should put Devin Haney in the Hall of Fame. That's really what I think, because I know what he's up against. He's up against someone that's extremely focused. He is up against a very detail-oriented trainer in Brian Norman Sr. I'm gonna tell y'all the mentality that Devin Haney's up against. Right? I'm gonna tell y'all a little story here on True School Sports. When I was in Japan, I went to Ohashi Boxing Gym. I saw Brian Norman Jr. train with his team. I saw Brian Norman Sr. He was there. And I had pointed out to Brian Noman Sr. because they were training at, Inoue's gym, which, Ohashi and Mr. Honda, they are, they wanted Jin Sasaki to win. That's why they paid all the money and brought Brian Noman out to Japan. They had a big old camera because at Ohashi gym, they have this big ass camera right above the ring. Like the ring is here and the camera will be way up on the left corner of the gym, but it's angled to where you can see what's going on in the ring. And so, I had pointed it out to Senior, and Senior said, look, that shit don't make no difference. We're going to go ahead and knock his ass out anyway. Like they don't care if you see them train. They don't care if you have video of them, which in boxing, a lot of trainers are very particular and scary when it comes to that. They don't want anybody to know anything they're doing, but like they are so confident in their work they put in. They didn't care that there was a camera right there potentially spying on them. They didn't care about any of that. So that's the kind of bulletproof mindset they have. And then when you get into the boxing side of it, everyone wants to make Devin Haney out to be like he's Floyd Mayweather, and he's not that. I mean, you look at people like to downplay Brian Noman's performance against Giovanni Santillan, and they say, well, who was Giovanni Santillan? But Giovanni Santillan was one of the top welterweights in the division, contenders. Noman was the B side, right? He's physically stronger than Devin Haney. And I would even say Santillan, as far as his style, it's probably the most. Yeah, like I was saying, Santillan's style is the most similar thing to like a Jojo Diaz. Jojo Diaz and Santillan, I feel, have similarities in terms of style. But I would say Santillan is a bigger, more physically stronger version of Jojo Diaz. And you see what Brian Noman did to him. And on top of that, look at Jojo. Go back. I'll give you all some homework. I'll give the Haneyaks a homework assignment, and I'll give the Normanites an assignment. All right, whether you're a Haneyak or you're a Normanite, I will give you an assignment to go look. Go back and watch the Jojo Diaz fight, and go watch the middle rounds. Like I'm talking round 4 through I think 4 through 7 or 8. Jojo Diaz, he got cement in his feet. He got the thickest cement possible in his feet. He does not really get on his toes and box and move. And Devin Haney is like known for being this master boxer, so to speak. And Jojo Diaz was landing shots with his liver. He was mauling him. He landed a overhand left flush. So like you don't gotta be the most, like it's been shown in other fights that you don't gotta be the most athletic fighter in the world to close the gap and find holes in Devin Haney's defense. It's been shown throughout his career. When he was at his best, when he was at his worst, just every stage of his career. Brian Noman Jr. has the level of athleticism, power, and fundamentals, and he's heavy-handed as hell. So he don't even gotta really like load up on the shot to where he catch Devin Haney wrong way one time. That's it for him. And not even just that. Like if Devin Haney is durable and his pride won't let him fall down, Brian Noman's gonna throw enough punches to out-volume him to a decision. Devin Haney does not throw combinations like that. He throws a lot of 1-2s. He likes to, work out of the clinch a lot, and I feel like that's going to be a big key here. But, go back and watch that fight. I know Devin was younger, and he's physically matured more, and he's not going to make as big of a weight cut. But, man, this deep into your career, you kind of are who you are. You can't teach an old dog that many new tricks, if any new tricks, period. And I think if he tries to work out of the clinch of Brian Noman Jr., he's going to get mauled quickly and swiftly. So, yeah, I think the biggest difference between these two fighters is mentality in the ring and out the ring. And it's going to show up in a big way come November 22nd. And listen, if I'm wrong and this video ages like milk, I will make a response video and I will say Devin Haney should be in the Hall of Fame. Because that's how confident I am Brian Noman is going to win this fight and win it in sensational fashion. But look, I'm looking forward to it because even though I'm very confident, I know that Devin Haney is skilled enough to potentially show me wrong. And I know, and I've been around boxing enough to know that sometimes fighters need these fights where people like myself and boxing fans and experts and whatever, they doubt them to go to that next level in training. And I think Devin Haney understands that this is that fight. He's fighting a bigger guy, younger guy, stronger guy, and he's going to need every last ounce of skill, will, conditioning, just everything possible to go on there and not just win, but put on a performance that gets him back on the pound list and potentially, really builds that case for the Hall of Fame. So that's my my assessment, guys. Well, I'll be making more content related to this fight as we get closer and closer. But let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think? Do you agree with what I'm saying, or do you guys think I'm being a hater, or do you guys think I'm overrating Brian Norman Jr.? Whatever you got to say, leave it down below. I look forward to reading it. And yeah, well, less than a month away from Norman Jr. versus Haney, and may the best man win. Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys stay tuned and subscribe. You won't be disappointed.